Welcome to Valley Newsline for the week of Christmas. Hello, I'm your host, Ron Whitlock. On this edition, we bring you our annual Christmas at the Capitol, with tours of the Governor's Mansion with Governor Perry and the Speaker's apartment at the Capitol, guided by Speaker Tom Craddick. We start at the Texas Governor's Mansion with Governor Perry and his wife, Anita. Okay, and as promised, here we are. We're coming in the back door of the Governor's Mansion in Austin. We're going to see if the Governor and First Lady of the state of Texas are here on this particular day.
Howdy.
My goodness, here they are. Governor,
How are
Merry
you?
Christmas. Merry Christmas to
Ron,
you.
you know my wife, Anita.
Yes, hi, Anita. How are you?
Lark from the Rio Grande Valley.
Yes,
Oh,
sirree.
Come bearing,
thank you for the grapefruit.
Come
Have
bearing
to.
gifts.
Does anyone come to Rio Grande Valley, they don't get some ruby red grapefruit?
That's right. You know, if the three wise men had been from the Rio Grande Valley, one of them would have had some ruby reds. Wouldn't have
Got
just
it.
been. It wouldn't have just been that frankincense and myrrh. And,
You know what I really enjoy? Coming in to the back door. Where in Texas do you always come to the back door? And that's everywhere, especially in Haskell.
backdoor friends.
No doubt,
Come
no
on in.
doubt.
Right, come in.
Appreciate the invitation to have a tour of
Get
your
out of the cool
beautiful
weather.
home this holiday season.
Glad you're here.
Thank you very much.
Well, Nita, lead the way.
Okay, first,
I guess
come in, Ron. We're going into
conservatory.
Thank you. Go
Y'all-
ahead, Governor.
Okay. Well, here I'll just follow in. Y'all go ahead.
We love this room because of the color in the windows. It's one of our favorite rooms. And the theme this year for the Christmas decoration centers around our dog Lucy, who's our 3-year-old dachshund. And she is atop the secretary. And along with Lucy, we also have some dachshunds and some gold and silver dog bones that the docents made. And a stencil, an ornament that was stenciled. It's Lucy, of course. So we love this room because it is so fun and light, and we've had a lot of fun with Lucy.
Lucy's how old?
3,
And she has a run of the mansion.
absolutely, yes.
Well, upstairs.
We're upstairs and in the yard.
More the run of the mansion, I bet, than the governor.
Oh yeah.
Probably.
If I was a guessing man, that's what I would guess.
She has been known to
Upstairs.
bark at people who are in the yard.
Now, some of these items are gifts from governors as they leave the governor's mansion, in particular the candlesticks from President George Bush.
Yep. Those were gifts to he and Laura on their wedding
Wow,
a few years back, probably
Wow.
25, 26 years ago.
my goodness.
And they were given to him by his uncle, Prescott Bush, who was a United States Senator. So, I mean, I think they're a pretty special gift, actually. You can see a little wear from, they obviously used them in their family, and those are Bush family heirlooms. So,
I think I recall they were married in Midland, and where were y'all married?
we were married in downtown Haskell.
Big downtown Haskell.
Downtown, yes.
It's a beautiful town.
It is a
is.
pretty little town. But anyway,
Population Haskell?
oh golly, now what about 3,500, honey? You
Maybe.
figured it's that,
Maybe.
that might be stretching it a little bit. We may be bragging a little bit. They're a 1A high school now.
This is the formal dining room, and we have the 2 fireplaces that have the garlands that are adorned with the pomegranates and different colored holiday balls, and a ribbon that's a really very pretty deep pink. And so it's a new color in here. But the center, of course, is all about Lucy. We have Lucy's doghouse at the center. It's made of sugar. And she's in the front and also in the back doghouse. She is guarding her yard with her ball, and it's been very popular also. It's a hit with everyone.
Doghouse is not edible.
Doghouse is not, well, I guess you could. It's mostly sugar.
Probably wouldn't be very tasty.
No, I wouldn't
No,
think
might
so.
not be.
It's all sugar, so it would be edible, but
This has always been Lucy's home?
Yes.
Actually, it has been,
It
yeah.
has been.
So-
We brought her here when she was 6 weeks old.
The mantle? Anything special about
well,
the mantle?
interesting. Those 2 guys on each end there are brothers. Those portraits are the Wharton brothers. They were funders of the Revolution of 1836. They were friends of Sam Houston, and obviously he needed some funds to run the Revolution and then the state afterwards. And these were 2 successful business people who were friends of his, and they helped fund the Revolution. And hence Wharton, Texas, and it was named after the 2 brothers. And this is,
Portraits very prominently displayed in the governor's mansion.
and indeed they are.
Never heard of that
Yeah,
those
well,
people
most
before.
people, most people
Very
don't know
interesting.
that story. And as a matter of fact, the first time I ever walked in here, I asked, who
Same-
are those
same-
guys? And I
Same
did a little
question.
research.
They're great.
And Anita,
Yes. All right, we're going to
Lead
go
the
in
way.
the hall.
okay,
Out the
great,
hall.
fantastic.
Go ahead, Ron.
Staircase that goes upstairs and the banister.
I understand that most governors do not damage the governor's mansion while they're here, with one exception.
That was Governor Hogg. And he had, I can't remember how many children, but he had at least one that was, let's just say, a pretty active child. And in those days, they lived all over the mansion. Of course, we just live upstairs and on that side. And the rest of the mansion, all downstairs, and the two, what they call public rooms, are open to the public. So we really don't spend too much time there, but they did. So these daughters would slide all the way down the banister. I mean, which would, you know, if you were a 7, 8, 9-year-old child, that was probably great fun, except it's rather dangerous. And
I think that's what I would do, Governor, if
yeah.
I lived here and I was that age. Maybe even at my age and your age. It may not be
Governor
that bad
Hogg
an idea.
decided that he would put a
Solve the
stop to
problem.
that. And he took 16 penny nails about 2 or 3 different places up here. As a matter of fact, you can still see right there that indenture in that piece of wood is one of the places where he just took and drove a nail in there, stopped and sliding.
Was he a farm boy like you?
I suppose he was. I bet we'd get in trouble if we tried that today.
And the Christmas tree.
There it is.
Come on, we go into the Christmas tree.
There it is.
Decorated beautifully this year.
It is. I think it's the prettiest one we've had.
I do too.
It's a great looking tree. What is that, about
Predominantly-
19 feet? Is it that tall?
Probably.
Probably right at it. Those are about 20-foot ceilings.
All of the ornaments have been needle pointed.
Yes, they are. They're part of the permanent collection here at the mansion. They're angel ornaments that we put on the tree for the first time last year. So they're from all over Texas, and Texas artists did them.
I have never in my life seen an Aggie Santa Claus.
Yeah. You didn't know,
Except here in the governor's
you
mansion.
didn't know Santa was an Aggie?
No, I didn't know that.
You know, my old friend Wayne Showers, he must have missed telling you that.
He probably did, as a matter of fact. God bless his soul.
Yes, indeed.
What a man.
I tell you, give my best to Reba
I
when you
will
see her.
be more than happy to do that, as long as I get also your wife's, First Lady of Texas, Anita Perry's buttermilk pie recipe.
It's a good one.
Got to share that with the
I'll
audience.
do
Would
that.
you? Would you promise to give that to
I
me?
promise to give you
Okay,
that.
at the end of the program now, you heard her on camera. Got to hit her up for something. I
Let me
hit,
tell
I hit you up for something
you're
every
getting-
time I see you.
You're
right,
getting one of
Governor?
the
So,
prized things that
buttermilk
she
pie
has.
recipe from the First Lady of Texas, Anita Perry, at the end of this program. So stay tuned. This is your home for the Christmas season.
This is it.
It is.
This is it.
So we'll be here.
Fireplace going in the fireplace
there you
here.
go.
Warm it up,
That's it.
and on the day we're doing this taping, somewhat chilly.
Yeah, it
in the
is.
state capitol.
It's yeah, and going to get colder. So hopefully not cold enough to get down and impact the citrus, but
Anything special in this particular room of the mansion?
Sam
Probably.
Houston, portrait of Sam Houston, who lived in this house in 1860. Of course, quite a the best known governor, I would say, that ever served in the state of Texas. He was the president of the Republic of Texas. He was a United States senator. He was the governor of Tennessee. I mean, this guy did it all, if you will.
Defeated Santa Ana.
He did indeed. And, you know, there are those that would say the reason there's a Texas is because of Sam Houston. And he lived here. As a matter of fact, his last son was born upstairs in what we refer to now as the Sam Houston bedroom. Temple Lee Houston in 1860, who went on to graduate from Baylor Law School and become I believe, a United States senator himself. Great family.
I've known state senators that didn't know all that information that you have.
And I tell you, living in this house is a history lesson every day.
Isn't it great?
It is a fabulous house. Nita and I are blessed to be able to live here, and you know, we wish everyone a Merry Christmas, and certainly we're going to have one, and importantly, a prosperous 2005.
And now it's off to the Capitol of Texas building, where Speaker Tom Craddick and his wife Nadine show us around the only living quarters situated in a state capitol in the entire United States. Speaker,
Ron, how are you? Glad to have you.
How are you?
Nadine Craddick.
Yes,
Nice
good
to
seeing
see
you
you.
again.
Thank you. Welcome.
Well,
Your
thank you.
Christmas present from the Rio Grande Valley, ruby red grapefruit.
Well, thank you.
Our
We appreciate
favorite.
it. It is, and we remember we were down and visited you before you gave us some, and we took it back to Midland with us.
And your Midland friend said?
Then it was great. They said, have you been down to the valley just bringing grapefruit back for us?
And you said absolutely.
Absolutely.
It's a Texas tradition.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you.
and
Thank
we're-
you for inviting us into
Well,
your
thank you.
private
Come in,
quarters here at the
please.
Capitol.
You're welcome.
And I think Nadine has a gift for you she'd like to give you.
I'd like
Right.
to present to you the 2004 Christmas ornament.
Wonderful.
This is the Capitol ornament, and the funds for it go to the Capitol restoration and for children's educational programs to teach them about Texas history.
It's the inside, the dome. Come in, let me show you through our apartment. As you know, we live in the Capitol when we're here, and it's the only apartment in a Capitol in the United States. So we're the only ones that live in the Capitol. So it's a real treat for us. And Nadine has taken and restored it and back to brought furniture from that time back in and redone it all and has really fixed it up. And we've really opened it up, letting people from Texas that come to the Capitol look at it and see it, and much more than it's ever been done before. So she really knows more about it than I do. I normally would just say, well, this is a room, you understand, but she actually knows what's in the room.
So this is the people's apartment, as the governor's mansion is the people's home.
Yes,
Absolutely.
it is. It is actually a public, private, semi-private kind of space.
How wonderful.
And we're very honored to be here. You know, we're all just passing through, and we're proud to be here this time at history, and we know somebody comes in behind us, and we tried to bring in furniture. This part, all in this foyer area, is all historic pieces, 1888, 1890 pieces, original pieces to the Capitol building. We're trying to have everything cataloged, everything photographed, so that for future generations we have some sort of a record of the pieces that are here and where they came from. This mirror is also an exquisite piece. It's walnut, gilded, gold, ebony, and they had these tall mirrors, and they used a lot of candlelight because everything was dark at that time, so they got the reflection from the mirrors and the candles to give more light.
I think it's interesting, too, the different types of wood used in the Capitol. Nadine can tell you, but the House had one type of wood used over here, the Senate had another, and the governor's office had another, so I think that's really interesting.
The House was oak, the Senate was walnut, and the governor was mahogany. So they had different woods used in different sections of this Capitol building. And as you can see, the detail in this wonderful building is just magnificent.
This obviously is the dining room area. This is the living area.
Most of the furniture in here is historic to the Capitol building, except for a sofa, a couple of tables, and a couple of lamps. But everything in here is 1888 to 1890. And what we've done is we've recovered them in fabrics that would have been used at that time with the silk fabrics. The paintings on the wall are part of the Capitol Preservation Board for the historic Texas artists that were painting between 1880 and 1920. We're very pleased to have these pieces hanging here in the apartment for all Texans to enjoy. I should have said it, up above is a Texana library that was deemed that way when Gibb and Sandra Lewis lived here, and it has Texana books and books that are presented to the speaker while he's in office. They're also put in this wonderful space that's upstairs.
You do have sleeping quarters adjacent to this.
Yes, we do, but we also have a guest bedroom / study that is in here.
This is very interesting in this guest bedroom. Yes. It's a great bedroom, but it has no closet, so they want you to come but not stay.
And actually, the pieces of furniture in here, except for the chair and the actual bed frames, are all historic pieces to the Capitol building. This is a study that sometimes the members, if there's someone that's ill on the floor and they need to come back here, or someone's not feeling well, we bring them in here, let them sleep, and tell them when then there's a vote that's coming up, we'll knock on the door and let them come out. But we've opened this up for the members to use. It is, as you say, the people's house.
We're using it as an infirmary. Every hinge in the Capitol looks like this, and it's really great. But every hinge in the Capitol is that way, and then every doorknob has the seal on it like this. So it's really very interesting the way they did it and the way they've maintained it through the years. Obviously, some have broken and stuff like that, and they've got a company that makes the replacements. Most of them are the originals.
And also the glass.
And the
in
glass is the same, right?
In this
the
room,
door.
Nadine?
This is the conference room. We come in here and you come into the speaker's, actually his office area.
So you're moving into the business
Moving
part
into
of
the business
apartment.
part of the apartment. By the way, all the chandeliers in here are exact replicas. They're not the originals, but the replicas of what were here back in the 1880s. Every piece of furniture in this room is an original piece except the table that the copy machine is sitting on. So everything in here is original 1880 pieces.
And this originally was the dining room. And then when they expanded it, they put the dining room at the other end. When I first got elected, this was the dining room. We're going to go into my office in a minute. And it was the original living room. And then they just added a couple of rooms on the other side.
This century being a throwaway society, it's wonderful to see this kind of preservation.
Thank you.
We're going into the office. Well, this is the speaker's office, which I office in, and as I mentioned to you, it used to be the dining room years ago when they had the apartment, and it's been converted. And there are a lot of really great pieces in here, and I'll let Nadine tell you about them because, like, the roll-top desk is one of the original desks in the Capitol. I think there are only a couple of those left.
I think there are 3 of those roll-top desks left in the Capitol building. This is an old library table, 1888. This is one of the original chairs. Over here, I'd like for you to look at it. It sits on the floor.
I think there are only 2 of those left.
And we look at it, but we really don't sit in it. But if you look at the old photos of the Capitol building and the House floor, this is one of the original pieces. The bookcases are all original pieces. The tables. This is an old table a map table from the land office that we brought over here. This piece was in the Reagan White House. It's called "And Finally Crockett Fell" by Fritz White, and it's very poignant, at least for us, because we love Reagan.
Similar to a Remington.
Yes, very, very much.
I looked for the paddle that you may have used to discipline unruly members of the House, and all I find is this. I think that might be a little bit more of a persuader, Mr. Speaker.
This is a gavel, and what we did, we use gavels every day, and as you can see, this was broken, and we use the gavels to call the House in, and a lot of people just think it's ceremonial, but actually the plate in which you strike the gavel controls the voting machine. So when you strike that, it shuts down the voting and no one else can vote. It's electronically controlled where it shuts the voting machines off.
Where next?
How about on the House floor?
Let's go.
All right,
We'd
great.
love to.
Christmas tree.
That's great.
We're inside the House chamber now, and it's all decorated for Christmas, and we think it's just beautiful. We think it's the prettiest space in the entire Capitol building. It is a wonderful chamber.
Obviously, there's where the speaker's podium where I stand when the House is in session.
Tom and I are very blessed. We have many, many wonderful friends in Midland, and each one of our friends, or many of our friends, needle-pointed each one of these Texas ornaments and presented us with this wreath last year when we came down here or 2 years ago when we came down here as speaker. The tree this year we think is absolutely fabulous. It was, the tree itself was donated by HEB to the House of Representatives, and the ornaments on it this year were placed there by a company in Midland, Miss Casey's Christmas Store. What is so special about this is after the season is over, they're going to put these ornaments on eBay, and a portion of the funds will go to the family support team of the families of the soldiers that are going to Iraq and ship out in January. So you'll have a chance, if you would like, to purchase some of these ornaments on eBay right after Christmas. The other thing about HEB also being a wonderful partner is they donate 210,000 meals to the needy in Texas around through this family sharing meal time. So Ron, as you and I discussed, and you said you have a real love for the children of this state, well, so do we, because all the gifts under this tree will be given to Child Protective Services. There were 150 names that were put on the angel tree, which was downstairs by the Capitol Grill, that each person who decided to be involved in this program took a name, and this is the result.
Members of the House and Senate, those elected, staff members and others,
Right.
visitors of the Capitol basically have donated these.
That's
Yes,
correct.
they have.
That's
This is-
correct. And
they
they've
have.
done a great job. And every child whose name was on the tree has gotten the gift that they put down. So we're elated to have this happen.
It's a great Texas tradition.
Right.
But we thank you so much for coming today.
And we want to wish you and your listeners and everyone across Texas a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
And it's a pleasure for us to serve and down here and serve the people of Texas, and we think this is a big part of it right here.
Thank you for watching our annual Christmas at the Capitol. Till next time, adios y feliz Navidad.